Do you think the owner of the Utah Major League Soccer team will be forced to sell? Here's what's happening around sports at the moment. There are owners who are racist. That's just a fact. There are people who are racist. There are now players and fans who believe and would like owners who do not have their views to be forced to sell. I don't know that that's called the cancel culture. I call it that it is the intolerant culture. I've been very clear here on this show. You may not share my views, but I respect your right to have those views. I don't respect your right to be a racist, but I do respect your right to be a Democrat or a Republican. I view and respect your view to have a different view of mine than I may have on immigration. Or I may have a different view on any sort of Israel issues or economic issues than you have, on tax issues, government size issues. You may be able to say I'm a Republican or a Democrat. I've never told you what I am because I don't label myself. I'm the they, them of political views. I cannot be given a label. There is one thing I would not and will not tolerate, and that is racism. You cannot make an owner sell because you think that owner has donated money to the Trump campaign, or that owner shows up at the White House, or that owner believes in something you don't believe in. No, no, no. But when it comes to racism, ask Marge Schott. Although she's dead, you can't. Ask Donald Sterling. There is a chance that when you are racist, you can be forced to sell. Now, what's going on? It's a team called Real Salt Lake. It's in Utah. It's owned by a man named Dell Hansen. I kid you not, that's his full name, Dell Hansen. Dell Hansen took over the team years ago. Utah was playing Los Angeles, and they decided not to play. As you recall, all of MLS did not play on Wednesday night. They got their act together in a way that another league didn't. Hansen went public and expressed his dissatisfaction with his own team, with his own players' actions, saying not playing is a sign of disrespect, and it makes me question how much I want to invest in this team. He talked about the profound disappointment that there was no game, that the spirit of Real was abandoned. He talked about all the preparation he made to host a game in this era of COVID. It was the first home game after Utah had been in the bubble. The preparation during the COVID era, but we were able to create this sense of community where people could come. And obviously we failed because people didn't come. He said that by not playing, the players were not supporting the local community or the club. OMG, did he get hammered. And it was immediate and it was strong. There was a call for him to immediately sell the team. The Major League Soccer Players Association released a statement saying the allegations concerning Dell Hansen are sickening. The Major League Soccer Players Association calls upon Major League Soccer to immediately suspend Hansen and conduct a thorough investigation. If the allegations are substantiated, he must be forced to sell the team. Don Garber, the commissioner of Major League Soccer, had to speak up as well. And he had to acknowledge Dell Hansen and what he's done in Utah, because he's really responsible for its growth, both men's and women's soccer. He's done a lot for youth soccer as well. But then he had to say that he strongly disagreed with the comments made today by Hansen and the way those comments were expressed. Of course, page 1 of the playbook. Those comments do not reflect the views of MLS. This is a time for all of us to work together in the pursuit of racial equality and social justice, and Major League Soccer and all of its clubs will continue to support and create initiatives that enact real change. Well, Dell Hansen is not going to be forced to sell his team. He's not going to be suspended. But he did realize that he was on the wrong side of history. So he took to the microphone and he said, I better start apologizing. And so he did. He said on a radio station that he owns, by the way, he said he felt a little remorse today. He said there's a lot of pain in our society, and I love Utah and the Real family of players, fans, and sponsors. We've suffered a lot and grown a lot together, and I'd like to take a minute after pondering the sides to this question. There are two sides, and I sincerely apologize to all being felt or heard or believed that I personally do not see the purpose of the Black Lives Matter movement, because I do. He had to walk back his statement in a way that was clumsy because it wasn't through a statement. And on this show, I tell you that sometimes statements are clumsy. But if you think about them, you have the right crisis PR people and you have the right crisis PR plan, you can make your statement work and you can actually change the narrative about yourself. But when this owner, I guarantee over objection of any of his advisors, got on his own radio station to deliver an apology where he said, after pondering a lifetime of how I've always been, I pondered overnight and realized that my business was in jeopardy, that my ownership was in jeopardy. So I spent a night of pondering, and it occurred to me that I don't actually feel the way that I felt my entire life. Or I feel slightly differently, but I have to express to you that I feel completely differently. And the reason I've got to feel completely differently is that I'm in danger. And what's the danger that Dell Hansen could actually be in? Say it with me as we end what may be a very historic week. Mr. Hansen, you're right. What's in danger is your business. It's nothing personal.